In today's video, I'll be revealing why the widely accepted 4% safe withdrawal rule, the one that's supposed to protect you from running out of money in retirement, is actually the reason why many retirees end up in financial trouble. After working with hundreds of clients who trusted traditional retirement strategies, I've discovered something pretty alarming. The biggest threat to retirement security isn't poor savings habits or even market crashes. It's the false sense of security created by rigid withdrawal strategies that fail under real-world retirement circumstances. That's exactly why I'm making this video today, to expose how the 4% rule, while seemingly conservative, can be both too aggressive and too cautious at the exact same time, and how that inflexibility creates real retirement failures. If you're new to the channel, my name is Ben. I've been a financial advisor focusing on retirement planning for almost 20 years, and I hope this video makes your retirement even better. So most retirees have heard of the 4% rule. It's pretty simple and straightforward. You withdraw 4% of your portfolio in your first year of retirement, and then you adjust that amount every year for inflation. If you do that, your money should last for 30 years. This rule has been around since the 1990s, based on back-tested research by Bill Bangan, who is a legend in his own right and a recent guest on my podcast. And the 4% rule worked. It worked in those historical scenarios, but those historical scenarios were based on the worst 30-year stretches of the past, and the entire framework is built on a worst-case scenario. Probably not what you're going to experience in retirement. You'll probably experience something slightly different. So that's why I found this recent Morningstar article so compelling. It features insights from John Reckenthaler, Morningstar's longtime market research director, who's been studying retirement income strategies for decades. His perspective and a lot of the data behind it completely reshapes how we should think about safe withdrawal rates. As Reckenthaler puts it, the 4% rule is based on some research from 30 years back, but people only get one shot at retirement. And when people hear the phrase safe withdrawal rate, they assume that that's some kind of a guarantee, but it's not. It's a static rule. It's a prediction based on the past being then applied to an unpredictable future. And that's really where the trouble begins. The 4% rule does not respond to market changes. It doesn't respond to Social Security timing or family emergencies or changes with your healthcare status. It's a one-size-fits-all rule that treats every retiree the same, regardless of their goals or their lifestyle or their risk tolerance. And even worse, it assumes that you're never going to adjust your spending. As Reckenthaler explains, the assumption is that the person is locked into that same spending pattern every year. Even if markets perform very badly, they still take out that same amount every year based on the 4% rule. So in other words, it's built on inflexibility, and I feel that's where the real danger lies. Because in real life, things change. Markets go down, expenses rise, your Social Security turns on, you apply for Medicare, right? Your needs for income change. And if your income strategy can't evolve with those changes in your life, then you're kind of stuck with potentially one or two bad outcomes. Either you spend too much early on in retirement and you risk running out of money, or you spend too little money, you live with unnecessary fear, and then you leave behind a mattress full of money that you never got to enjoy yourself. So as I've mentioned a couple times on this channel and many times in my book, there are really two ways to fail at retirement. The one that everybody talks about, that's running out of money, and the one that we recognize too late, and that's dying with regret after living too frugally for too long. I've been in far too many conversations with adult children who say, gosh, I wish mom and dad would have spent that money that they worked so hard for. They never had a chance to enjoy it, and now it's just too late. And that's the irony. Both of these failures, overspending and underspending, can happen with the same strategy depending entirely on timing. And that's why we say the 4% rule isn't just too conservative or just too aggressive. It's really both. The problem isn't the percentage in and of itself, it's the rigidity of the rule. As Reckenthaler from Morningstar puts it, you're not stuck into a lifetime plan. You need a starting point, granted, but you've got to monitor year by year and make adjustments. This really is not set it and forget it. But too many retirees never do make adjustments. They follow the 4% rule robotically and mechanically, believing that that in and of itself will guarantee success. And that false confidence is exactly what makes that rule so potentially dangerous. It creates the illusion of safety right before reality changes. So what happens when that illusion meets real market conditions? Well, that's where the real damage can be made. While the 4% rule promises safety, the mathematical reality reveals dangerous assumptions. And few are more dangerous than sequence of returns risk, and that's the timing of your investment returns, especially early on, especially in those first few years of retirement. And here's the critical truth. It's not just how much return your portfolio gets, it's the order in which you receive those returns. So two retirees can have the exact same portfolio, the same average return, and the same spending rate, yet one runs out of money while the other dies with more than they started with. And the only difference is the timing of the returns that they receive. So if you hit a downturn in the market early on in retirement and you keep withdrawing the same amount every year, just like the 4% rule tells you to, you're spending from a shrinking portfolio, and that can create some permanent damage to that portfolio. As Morningstar's John Reckenthaler puts it, if the markets are unfavorable and you're pulling money out each year from that declining pool, your portfolio could get so small that it can't really come back. And the problem is that retirement portfolios in the distribution phase don't get the same break like accumulation portfolios do. When you're working, you're adding money and you've got time to wait out a bear market. But in retirement, you need income every single month. Whether the market is up or down, it doesn't matter. You got bills to pay. So you're withdrawing from a portfolio that's trying to recover, and it's going to feel like you're swimming against the current. Your portfolio is going down with the market and it's going down with your withdrawals. That's why even 3% or 4% withdrawal rates can fail if the sequence is wrong. Not because the withdrawal rate is reckless, but because the plan itself is inflexible. And once sequence of returns risk hits you, you don't really have a do-over, right? We can't hop in the DeLorean and go back to 65 and redo the first several years of retirement, right? That damage is done. Reckenthaler states it pretty bluntly. Retirement is the most complicated financial situation and the one where you can least afford to make a mistake. And yet, the 4% rule doesn't give you any way to make adjustments. No warnings, no breaks, no flexibility, just the same inflation-adjusted withdrawal amount every year, no matter what the market's doing. So it's like hitting a downhill curve at full speed with no brakes. Now, if you're thinking, well, couldn't I just move into a more conservative portfolio and avoid those early losses? And you're not alone. I mean, that's the natural instinct, right? How do we stop the bleeding from our portfolio? But here's the twist. That move, one made out of self-preservation, might actually guarantee your retirement fails, and probably not in the way that you think. In a moment, I'll show you exactly why playing it safe with your portfolio can quietly set up your retirement for something worse than a market crash, and what smart retirees are doing instead. Sequence risk exposes the withdrawal rate problem, but what makes the situation even worse is how many retirees respond to it by moving their portfolio into bonds. Now, it does feel like the safe move. After all, if the market crash is the thing we're trying to avoid, if that's the enemy, then taking risk off of the table should solve the problem, right? Well, unfortunately, it really doesn't. The instinct is to de-risk your portfolio, which is exactly what sets up so many retirees to fail. Now, not right away, but quietly over time. So let's take a look at what the numbers actually show. Morningstar's base case retirement simulations, the same ones behind the 4% rule, often assume a conservative portfolio, just 20 to 40% in stocks with the rest in bonds and cash. That's the traditional advice, right? Reduce risk, preserve capital, and avoid big losses. But when Morningstar tested higher equity allocations, something like 60 to 70% in stocks, that safe withdrawal rate really barely changed at all. It dipped from 4% to either 3.8 or 3.9%. So as John Reckenthaler from Morningstar puts it, there's a slightly lower probability of success, but under most conditions with a 60 or 70% equity portfolio, you can end up with more money over time. In fact, in many of their simulations, retirees with stock allocations actually grew their portfolio during retirement while spending from the portfolio. That's because long-term returns, they still matter. And bonds, especially in today's environment, simply can't deliver the returns that are needed to fund 30 years worth of income. You've got to have stocks to do that. When you load up your portfolio with too many bonds in the name of safety, you're not avoiding risk, you're just trading one risk for another. And the risk that you're introducing is the risk of running out of purchasing power. And here's the math. At just 4% annual inflation rate, and we've certainly seen higher than that recently, prices double every 18 years. That means if you retire at 65, by the time you're 83, you need twice the income just to buy the same stuff, right? The same groceries, the same prescription, the same insurance, the same gas, whatever it is. Now, if you live until your 90s, now you're looking at needing 3 times the income just to maintain that current lifestyle. Now ask yourself, can a bond-heavy portfolio realistically double or triple in size over 30 years while also supporting consistent withdrawals all along the way? I think it seems pretty unlikely, right? A heavy allocation to bonds and cash might feel safe emotionally, but financially, a safe portfolio is often completely unprepared for the realities of what we encounter in modern retirement planning. That's why I often call inflation the silent killer of retirement plans. And today's bond yields just, I don't think, are up to the challenge. Sure, you might reduce that short-term volatility that you want to avoid, but you also reduce long-term growth. And over retirement that could last maybe 30 or 40 years, the trade-offs add up pretty fast. A bond-heavy portfolio might feel emotionally safe, but it's mathematically, that's how it's fragile, and it's incredibly fragile. It fails to keep up with inflation, right? It limits the recovery potential after the market downturn, which when most people shift to bonds is after the market's already crashed. And then it locks you into a future where your money just quietly loses its purchasing power every single year. This is how the fear of volatility creates the certainty of loss, a steady decline in your lifestyle that you might not feel right away, but it becomes painfully obvious in your 70s and 80s as we're losing ground to inflation. The truth is, conservative strategies often optimize for short-term comfort while destroying our long-term security in retirement. And then when you combine that with a rigid withdrawal rate, something like the 4% rule, you've created a retirement plan that's built to fail slowly. But it doesn't have to be that way, because if you're willing to let go of some of the rigid rules and the fear-based allocation models, there's a much more effective way to create retirement income that you can outlive, while maintaining the flexibility that works in real-life retirement planning scenarios. A plan that adapts to the market, lets you spend more when times are good, and provides a plan for when markets are not so good. So now that you understand why traditional withdrawal strategies often fail, click the link in the description. You can book some time with me, and I'll analyze your specific situation and show you how to unlock income from your retirement plan. So we spent the first half of this video exposing why the 4% rule and a lot of the traditional advice around retirement portfolios often lead to either way too little money during our peak retirement years or way too much money at the end of our lives. So let's talk about the better path forward, and that's building a flexible plan. Because here's the good news. You can often withdraw 4% or more and still have a sustainable plan if you're willing to make small, intelligent adjustments along the way. And Morningstar's own research shows that flexible strategies can often support 4.5% or even 5% withdrawal rates safely. And then if we coordinate on top of that our Social Security benefits, I think you can spend even more, far more than what most retirees spend and far more than what some financial advisors think is even possible. So how does this work? Well, it works by ditching that set it and forget it mindset that comes with rigid plans like the safe withdrawal rate of 3 or 4%. So instead of taking that same inflation-adjusted withdrawal every year, no matter what, I'd like to see people adopt more of a guardrails approach. And here's what that means in practice. When markets are doing well, your portfolio grows and you give yourself a raise. Sounds great, right? When markets decline, instead of withdrawing that same amount and compounding our losses with withdrawals, you dial back your spending, just temporarily, to protect the plan. Now, even better, if we can coordinate your Social Security benefits with a future market downturn, we might be able to protect our portfolio without reducing our income because we coordinate everything together. It's like cruise control with an automatic braking system. You still get where you're going, but you get to slow down a bit when the road gets a little bit rough. This isn't about dramatic lifestyle changes. It's about making measured, pre-planned adjustments based on what's actually happening in your life and happening in your market. It's not just blindly following a spreadsheet. Now, as Morningstar puts it, flexible systems permit higher spending rates, often 4.5% to 5%. People have control over their fortunes, and they can do better than rigid withdrawal rates might suggest. And that's really a key difference. You do have more control than you think. You don't have to be a market timer. You don't have to make emotional decisions. You just need a system, and one that checks in regularly and says, given how things are right now, how much can I safely take out this year? These systems, like guardrails or dynamic spending bands, help retirees avoid catastrophic drawdowns during down markets while still allowing them to fully enjoy their retirement in up markets. And guess what? The market is up most of the time. Now, I know bad headlines get more clicks, but the reality is that the market is within 5% of an all-time high, nearly 40% of the time. I know that sounds unbelievable, but that's the reality. And most retirees don't spend the same amount every year for 30 years, right? Most retirees, if they're given the choice, they want to front load their retirement income plan. They want to spend more money sooner. Later in retirement, travel might slow down, medical costs might change, they might increase, grandkids and kids might move, right? This spending patterns in your retirement will evolve. So why wouldn't you want a retirement plan that can also evolve with you? So instead of treating 4% as a rule carved into stone tablets, think of it as a starting point, just like the Morningstar article suggests. From there, build a plan that adapts, one that lets you dial things up or down while staying on course, which allows us to avoid the two primary risks of retirement planning that we mentioned earlier, running out of money and dying with regret. Because the reality is this, the retirees who succeed aren't the ones with the most conservative plans. They're the ones with the most adaptable plans. And flexibility isn't just a comfort, it's the foundation of a quality retirement plan. But even flexibility doesn't solve everything alone, because the final trap of traditional retirement advice, really one that nobody talks about, is that it treats every retiree the same. It assumes we all have the same life expectancy, the same risk tolerance, the same goals, the same lifestyle, but really that couldn't be farther from the truth. And in a moment, I'll show you why one-size-fits-all retirement rules fail real people and how to build a strategy that actually fits what you're looking for in retirement. Because let's be honest, the 4% rule, it just doesn't know you, right? It doesn't know how long you're going to live. It doesn't know if you're in amazing health or if you're facing medical challenges. It doesn't know if your dream retirement involves an RV or a garden or, I don't know, taking your grandkids across Europe. And despite all that, it gives everybody the exact same advice. Take 4%, adjust for inflation, set it and forget it. That's the fatal flaw, right? One size fits all planning in a world where there are no two retirements that are alike, that's not going to work. Your spending habits, risk tolerance, guaranteed income, and goals all deserve to shape your plan. Because if it's not personalized, then it just can't be optimized. Here's what a smart customized strategy might actually look like for you. Number one, make the most out of your guaranteed income. Social Security provides inflation-adjusted income for as long as either you or your spouse might live. Take advantage of it and maximize it to the best of your ability. Number two, invest for your lifestyle. Use your investment accounts to fund flexible parts of retirement. Fund things like travel and hobbies, but also use those investments to create an income bridge between the more lumpy cash flows in retirement, like Social Security or Medicare timing. Number three, add flexibility. Build in rules that let you adjust spending based on market conditions, like guardrails or dynamic bands. Number four, stress test your plan. Make sure that it can handle bad markets and high inflation and a particularly long time if you plan to live a long time, right? If you've got a lot of 89-year-old or 99-year-old aunts, test that for longevity. And then finally, number five, adjust regularly. This is not a one-and-done spreadsheet. This is going to be a living, breathing thing that should evolve with you as you evolve through retirement. Because real retirement security doesn't come from following rigid rules like the 4% rule. It comes from designing a strategy specific to you. And here's the best part. When your plan reflects your real life, you're free to stop worrying about running out of money and start spending money like someone who actually plans to enjoy their retirement. So now that you understand why the 4% safe withdrawal rule creates false security while leading into retirement failures, you can develop personalized strategies that provide real protection against running out of money. Now, if you want help creating a withdrawal strategy that accounts for your individual circumstances and protects against the systemic failures of the standard withdrawal rules, click the link in the description. You can book a call with me personally. I'll analyze your situation and I'll show you the optimal way to turn your portfolio into income. So once again, my name is Ben. I hope this video helps to make your retirement even better. Drop a link if you'd like to help the channel, and I will see you on the next video.